And welcome to SDN Tech Forum. In last video, you saw me building a GPS tracker. That means we were using a off-the-shelf GPS dongle connected to Raspberry Pi, take a trip around the neighborhood, collect some coordinate, come back, connect to internet, and draw a or plot a map. Right. Now let's take it further, one step further. Assume this GPS dongle is connected to some kind of device, maybe your phone, or it has, say, a cellular SIM, or some kind of connectivity it has all the time, right? Then what you can do, you can plot things in real time, right? And to do that, we are going to focus on one of the open source or freeware where we are going to build our own GPS server. Yes, your own GPS server. We are not going to use Google or anything. I'm going to show you how you can build your own GPS server and use your GPS client to report your locations, draw fancy maps, and etc. All right, so let's do that. Here we are using tracker.org. We are going to do a Windows installation. So download the installer package, run the setup.exe, and from there you need to start from the service, and then it will be the UI will be accessible. All right, as you can see, I have already installed the exe, and from Windows services, the service is running. The status is running. By default, it's not running, so you have to go to services and start this. Now let's go to quick start guide. Within the quick start guide, as you can see, I talk about how to open the app. If you host your own server, the URL is localhost colon 8082. So a tracker server is running on localhost listening on port 8082. All right. So let's see if we have any default username password. As you can see, previously they used to have a default username and password, but newer versions, they don't have any default users. That means you need to register before you start using the services. So all you need to do is a very simple registration: name, email address, set a password. That's all, you are set. So we'll go ahead and register it with our email address is sdntechforum@gmail.com, name and a password. Okay, so here we are ready to log in. Now you can see it says registered your device. Before we register our device, let's find out the IP address. So IP address is 192.168.1.116. That is my tracker server IP address. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and add a device. The first device called uh, iPhone client, because iPhone has an app, tracker client app, which you can use to test your client to server connectivity. Identifier doesn't have to have IMEI or serial number, because once you download the client, it will give you an identifier, and I'm going to show you that in last part of the video where we will look at the phone settings. Rest of the fields are pretty uh, optional. You can just leave it like that and go ahead, save it, and you can see your device shows up in the left pane, but it is just configured, it is offline. What we have to do, we have to go back to the device iPhone client and do change some settings, because the by default they come with the demo server setting. Since we are running our own server, we have to change that setting in phone, and I have done that on my phone, and hence you can see the iPhone client is showing online. On the right side, it is bringing a nice map services where your iPhone client is showing as a location. It can also show you a lot of other things like speed, address, total distance, but we are not going to take a deep dive or explore all the options of this um, tracker services. It is our first video, very basic, what we can do using client and server, and how you can run your own GPS server. That is the key, right? So I'm running my own GPS server, maybe on-prem or on cloud. As long as I have connectivity from client to server, I can report my GPS location. How convenient is that, right? If we tie it back to our earlier GPS experiment, you are in control. You are controlling your client, you are controlling your server. All right. So this is the all I wanted to show you from GPS perspective. We have built a nice GPS services for ourselves. In the last part, I'm going to show you the client setting, which is uh, here in this case we are using iPhone app, tracker app. So you can go to Android or iOS store and search for a app called tracker client as shown it here. You can see server URL is preset. So we need to change this because we are not using demo server, but we are using localhost. And I have shown you what is the IP address for my localhost. And device identifier, that's the identifier I'm going to use while configuring this as a device or adding this as a device on tracker server. That means we are not relying on IMEI or serial number of the device, right? It's just a unique identifier. You can set location accuracy. Obviously this is iOS, so privacy is in place. It is asking if you want to allow this app to track location service. Of course, that's why we need this app. So go ahead, enable this and toggle the button service status. As you toggle that service status, you will see the app will actively try to reach out to the server URL on the IP address and port number. And once it has the connectivity, IP connectivity, you'll say service created and location updated. That's when the app on server side, the device goes online because it is receiving location update. So I think you can bring your own devices. There is a list of supported device on tracker.org. You can buy some devices, supported devices, or you can use the iPhone client to test the services. So this is all we wanted to talk about GPS. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, share, spread a word. Thank you, and I'll see you in next video.